As journalists spread out across the country to document today's Saba Saba commemorations, one of our own reporting teams unexpectedly became part of the story. While covering a police roadblock along the Allsops section of Thika Road, officers confronted the Nation Media Group team, ordered them to stop filming, delete footage that already recorded, and briefly confiscated their equipment before allowing them to leave. And then came a phone call from Ruaraka OCS Fantas Kandugu, questioning why the incident had been made public and speaking condescendingly to the reporter. So why all the hula baloo? Because the cops were blocking the road with stones and not with spikes, as is expected, and seemingly fearing that this would be exposed. Here's that report. The camera was rolling. Not to provoke, not to interfere, but simply to document events unfolding on a public road. Yet, within moments, NTV reporter Margaret Kimathi, camera person Dennis Gikera, photographer Wilfred Nyangaresi and driver Samuel Shege found themselves answering questions instead of asking them.
See, we are telling the story that the road has been blocked.
The officers, while on the Saba Saba Day traffic management duty, had blocked the road with stones instead of standard police spikes. Once they saw the cameras, the cops objected to the barricade being filmed, claiming the footage would portray them in negative light. This is possibly because the barricade was similar to those ordinarily put up by goons and coming at a time when police have been accused of working with the criminal elements. The NTV crew was then ordered to stop recording. Then came the instruction to delete footage already recorded. Ruaraka OCS Fantas Kandugu then confiscated camera person Dennis Gikera's camera. The crew also say that officers seized Nation photojournalist Wilfred Nyangaresi's phone and ordered him to delete his footage. The confrontation lasted about 15 minutes before the journalists were allowed to leave. But the encounter, the journalists say, did not end there. OCS Fantas Kandugu later telephoned NTV reporter Margaret Kimathi, questioning why the incident had been published on social media, insisting the footage should have remained deleted.
I've been told you just came. Learn how to work professional. There are kind of ethics. There is what guide your profession. Okay.
In the recorded conversation, the officer also refers to the reporter as a novice, alluding to ignorance, in an ironic twist, given that she, for the record, is an award-winning journalist beyond Kenya's borders. The work the NTV crew was carrying out is protected by the Constitution. Article 34 guarantees media freedom and protects editorial independence. Article 35 guarantees every citizen the right to access information. Those protections safeguard independent journalism and the public's right to know. Some questions naturally come to mind. Under what authority were NTV journalists ordered to delete editorial footage?
Is that what you're trained to do?
Okay.
I'm not happy at all. You don't do things right.
But let me ask you, what did we do wrong and we were just recording?
Well, the answer was a hang-up on the call. Also, on what basis were their devices confiscated? And if officers believed an offense had been committed, why was due process not followed? Following the incident, National Police Service spokesperson Mushiri Nyaga called NTV reporter Margaret Kimathi, apologized for the confrontation, and said the service had begun looking into the circumstances surrounding the incident.
The NTV was able to reach out to us. We can confirm that at the National Police Service regarding that very disturbing clip. And National Police Service promises to take disciplinary or corrective action in regard to the officers that were involved in that clip that you've seen where the media people appear to be harassed during the normal working processes.
Michelle Ngele, Odhiambo, NTV.